Golfers, today I'm going to share with you one big move that makes a huge difference to how you strike the golf ball, the power you generate and the consistency you get. Keep tuned to see this one big move. So one big move, this is a really important element of the golf swing. We're talking shifting big and falling forward rather than falling backwards. What we tend to see with a lot of golfers is they tend to fall backwards rather than forwards. So what I'm saying is, in the downswing, they tend to move dynamically back this way as they strike the golf ball. What that does is increases the loft. So if you do make good contact, you're going to hit high, weak shots. If you don't make good contact, you're going to hit the ground before the ball. We're going to hit the big ball before the little ball. We do not want to do that. That's the worst feeling in the world. You flush a drive down the middle of the fairway, then you chunk an iron shot 10, 20 yards. It is so frustrating. What we want to do is make solid contact every time. Not perfect contact every time, because that's kind of not realistic for most of us. What we want to do is make solid contact, get the ball in and around the green every single time, and that will lower your scores because you'll become more consistent. You'll have less wasteful shots, and that's what we're really trying to do. Now the key is doing it in the correct sequence. What I want to see is your tailbone, the belt buckle of your trousers here, move laterally in the start of the downswing. Now the best players in the world will move about 5 or 6 inches from the top of the backswing to that impact area. What we see with most golfers, and I measure a lot of golfers on 3D, they'll move about half that amount or even less than that. What I've set up here for you is a little station to give you the feedback that you can practice to try and achieve slightly more than the 5 or 6 inches, because we quite often have to overreach, over-exaggerate to get the right moves. Whenever I do things like this on YouTube, a lot of people will comment, well, you're moving far more than you need to move, and that might hurt your back. Now, what we're talking today is lateral separation, which is basically the body staying here and the lower half going. Now, lateral separation shouldn't give you any back issues at all. Now, rotational disassociation, this move, that definitely can hurt your back. Your lower part of your spine, your cervical spine, has got 10 degrees of freedom, as far as I'm told, from surgeons and scientists and doctors and so on. So we don't want to be basically separating there too much. We definitely want some separation laterally and rotationally, but laterally we can really go for it. So what I've got here is, if I take my dress position, I've got 2 golf balls and then I've got a shaft into the ground. Now you can use obviously your golf bag, anything you want. Now that gap there is slightly bigger than the 5, 6 inches we're talking about. But I want you to be working towards hitting that, not necessarily taking it out and have to replace it every single time. So the 2-ball rule is a great way of practicing this to get the kind of right movement. Now at the top of the backswing, if we shift laterally this way, that then allows the right side, the upper torso here, right side to right side bend, which then lowers the shaft and gives us that shallowing look, or that gravity drop feel that some pros talk about, to allow us to get the club into the slot and then rotate onto the golf ball. It also, by shifting our lower half forward towards target, allows the pressure to shift towards that side, which helps then get the club landing in the correct spot. Now the low point of your swing with an iron wants to be about 4 inches after the golf ball. I'll be absolutely happy with 3 to 5 inches for all iron shots if you looked at it that way. But 4 inches after the golf ball is what we want to be focusing on. So we need to get that club to be bottoming out at its lowest point there. Now it might make contact with the ground just after the golf ball, but the low point would be there. As the handle's kind of going up, the club head's going down. That's what we want to be trying to achieve. So in the downswing, the lateral shift towards this stick, towards this shaft, if I get myself in the right position, and then land that club and then extend up and try and feel that we stick here. Try and feel that we don't fall back from here in the end. That is also very important. Some falling back's okay, but if we can try and stick there, that's really going to guarantee that low point in the right area. And you're going to take lovely, lovely divots after the ball, really flush contacts and really kind of present that loft of the club in the correct way to give us the longest version of you without getting stronger or necessarily swinging faster. Just the real efficient version of you is what we're looking for here. So let's go ahead and show you how this works in reality. So again, take your setup. I've got a 7 iron here, so ball position in the center. I've got this stick positioned as we said. Need to stand a little closer to that golf ball. There we go. Do a little rehearsal. Try and feel that contact. It's only subtle. And when we feel that contact, then I'd want to feel like the lead leg extends and we try and stick on there. The trail foot and trail knee are going to bank inwards, and the club's obviously going to extend through the golf ball. And then I want to feel that my chest works up, heart to the sky, and we feel like we're really committed to the shot. That's what I'm looking for. So initially, I would hit some soft, gentle shots, trying to feel I'm working towards that club. Definitely felt I made a huge effort to get across there. Definitely feel I'm putting more pressure there, more weight there. Center of masses move forward, and I feel I'm really trying to extend into that spot. It feels excessive, and I want it to feel excessive. I want you to feel that you're moving more than you ever have, and we're going to try and really experience the feeling of getting into that forward swing position as best we can to create the right sequence in the way down. How can we take this to a course? Let's just talk about that. So on the golf course, I would try and involve a little bit of a practice swing routine. So I might well give it a little bit of the step and hit, really feel that pressure, really feel that lead side extend, stretch, and we're going to definitely feel like we're getting taller with that lead leg. So it's going to rotate as well. The rotation kind of happens free when we start to work towards facing target, but that might be the practice swing. Then when we go and hit the golf ball, I'll be really focusing on just can I get a little bit of that lead side bump, and even a little rehearsal, lead side bump. And that one there felt fantastic. Great pressure on the ball, great flight, great strike. Felt effortless, which is really what I want you to feel. Effortless golf is the way forward. Shift big, fall forward, not fall back, but fall forward with your lower half.